remember when they told us that we'd be living in a paper-free world by now? I certainly do. It's not as easy as they said it was going to be. And now, instead of being drowned under a pile of paper, we're struggling with overflowing email inboxes. We're also struggling with overflowing calendars. We seem to be fitting in more things and now have a number of places where we keep all of our appointments: phones, computers, post-it notes. They don't all necessarily have the same information in each. Kat Paz, who is always trying new and better ways to go paperless, is going to give us some inspiration for cleaning up our digital lives.
Absolutely. How are you going?
Great. Thanks for joining us today, Kat.
No problem. So yes, I mean, it's getting so busy in the digital world, and I guess the first part is our inbox. And, you know, how many emails do people have now? And then people start calling it the forgotten cousin, or they call it the spam inbox email. And I get that from clients. They go, don't send emails to that one. It's the spam email. I rarely check it. And people have thousands of unread emails, and it's creating a weird sense of anxiety. So I actually read a book by Cyril Pipion, and it's called Work Smarter, Live Better. Sorry if I butchered that name. That's awful.
And all of some of the information we're going to be putting on the Facebook page for Taking Care of Business.
Yes.
So if you want to find out more about this book, it'll be on the Facebook page.
Oh, absolutely. So I think it's probably one of the best books. He's Australian, so he helps organizations organize their lives better through their inbox. So I'm just going to talk more in an Outlook perspective, because a lot of people use Outlook and it has that functionality, I suppose, to export stuff. But, you know, who checks their emails first thing in the morning? During the day, you're putting your hand up again.
Yeah.
Before bed.
Yeah, I check it all the time.
When in bed. Like,
I check it like before I get out of bed. It's like it's the soft wake up.
You call that soft?
I call it soft. Like, I'm just so I'm mentally prepared for the day.
Yes, and that's it. It's almost based, it's driven by anxiety, that the way we are behaving. And it's not good. I mean, our brains weren't made for it, and we are slaves to the sound of the ping.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Pavlov's dog.
Yeah, everything stops. What was that? Even though you were doing something more important, like moving your life forward. And a survey done by King's College in London found our work environment today is making us less productive than if we were completely stoned with drugs. So emails are a big part of it. How scary is that?
That's horrifying.
That's horrifying. It's
what?
horrible.
What?
Yeah.
How can we be?
We would be better off stoned with drugs.
Then what? What is it? The email? Is it the technology? Is it?
The technology. There's just too much out there, and then our brains are having to process it more. But also, like you said, it's fast moving, and it's hard to keep up. And that ping sound just kind of it rules you. There's no control. We're so reactive instead of proactive. And that's the problem to people feeling a bit distressed and depressed in their jobs.
I guess also that catchphrase, multitasking, which, we all, take with some pride. Yeah, multitasking. But maybe that's not the best way to do things. And, if there's an opportunity of doing something else at the same time, then we go, oh, yeah, well, I'm downloading this thing. I'll do this other thing at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
So we try and squish more in.
Because we're feeling so time poor, and then we can't help ourselves. Someone's watching a webinar at the same time, you're like, oh, I'll send that email, or I do this. Like, our attention is split so many ways. It's crazy. I mean, we drive and listen to the radio and think about things about the day. That's like too much. We just need to simplify our lives. But it is hard if you're not managing your life, because then you become controlled by things that are out of your control. And with the inbox, that's who manages who. Do you manage the inbox, or does the inbox manage you? So in this book, it's actually called Work Smarter, Live Better. I can totally agree with that. And I'm just going to pick a few things that I got from it, which I actually implemented in my business every now and again, and which I want to actually explore more of, because, yes, the inbox never changes. The world keeps changing. On average, people receive 40 to 50 emails per day. Spam, you name it. It's like, wow. And Cyril talks about two terms which he says that they've been created recently. One is called inboxicated. So that's where you're feeling sick when your inbox is reaching its capacity. I love it. And another one is spamnesia.
What's spamnesia?
Regularly forgetting to delete spam and junk emails, resulting in your inbox overflowing. So, like I said, 40 to 50 is a lot. So if you miss a day at work, you're 40 emails behind, So there has to be more of, well, how do you manage that? Because clearly you can't wait till it's a good time. It's about being proactive, being in the present, rather than ending up reactive. I mean, how stressed are people after they come back from work?
That's it. Yeah. You don't, it's almost like you didn't have the holiday.
Yeah. Or when they're sick, and then they come back to work. And they're so grumpy, and it's because, they're stressed. They're lying in bed going, I can't let go. And, chronic fatigue is becoming a huge thing. Anyway, I'm not a health expert. I think we need one here to talk about that. But I'll talk about what to do, like 5 things that you can just implement this week, and then next week we'll explore other things with the inbox. So you can batch your email checking time. Schedule a few times a day, twice is a good max to start with, where you check your emails. And this worked for me. I started with a habit where I'd write, I had 3. So the first one was I just needed to clear my inbox. And I had this goal, clear 100 emails today. Don't ask at what stage was I at for me to have that daily goal. And I'd write how many emails I had in my inbox when I started and how many I had when I finished. Because, of course, the 40 emails were coming. Mm-hmm. And that helped, and I was done within 18 days. Crazy. I haven't found those 18 days again, but it works. So schedule twice a day where you check your emails for half an hour at least, or an hour, and have an out of office is my little add-on to say, if people are like, have you seen my email? You just say, hi, I check my emails a couple of times a day. I'll get back to you either today or tomorrow. Please be patient. If it's urgent, call me, So have that out of office there so that people aren't nagging you by email to send something that's urgent. I find that bizarre.
So it's an out of office or an auto reply, whatever your email system deals with.
Yeah, exactly. So just customize the auto reply. It's not there just because you're out of the office. It's there for you to manage your time. And leave your Outlook open on calendar, because you do probably need reminders about meetings. So I also set my Outlook, the first thing it opens to is calendar, not inbox. So I know, okay, what's up for the day? Because of the way Outlook now looks, you can't help but look at the first email in your face. So mine opens on calendar first. And turn off the alerts. You don't want that ping sound coming in every time. And that's it. We were so responsive to that. I don't know where that came from. Maybe playing sport and listening to whistles. I don't know. So, and number 3, it's nice to read versus must read. So unsubscribe from things that you've never read. And it's just being polite for yourself, And people won't be offended because everyone is busy. If you are offended, please, I'd love to know how you do it. So unsubscribe. There's just too much out there, and naturally your email's needed for certain things.
One top tip I did here for unsubscribing, cleaning up your inbox. If you are getting a lot of those kind of newslettery type emails that you don't have time to read, put a search in your email and type unsubscribe, and all the emails that have an unsubscribe function.
Nice.
So they'll all appear. Ta-da! So then you can just go through and go, yeah, I'm just going to unsubscribe from these.
Yes.
And then you can get rid of them.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Because you may not have time, So, and you could just put it in a folder, really. And then know, okay, that's the task for the day as well.
And just empty it once a week once you haven't read
it. Delete it if you can't get to it. Honestly, it still kind of helps. And then that's something you can do later. Number 4, avoid procrastination. So don't read it and not action it. I mean, we all do it. I do it.
Don't procrastination.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Make a decision. Like we see an email and we think, oh man, why? But then we've done nothing about it. And then we hear ping. And then we're like, oh, who's that? What is it? What do they want? And then the phone rings. It sounds dramatic, but it's real, I think. Yeah, it's so real. And then before you know it, you end that phone call. And it's like, what was I doing again? And then you're just going back to something else. So that's really important. And number 5 for today, it's just trial and error. Just try something that works. Do it. Like I said, I did that 100 emails a day, and I got quite busy when it went up. And mine always goes up around Christmas and New Year's because I travel to places without internet. And I found that was the cause, of why my inbox would just go out, or if I'm sick, that also takes the emails just take a back seat. So just do trial and error, find the thing that works for you. But I like number 4, which is, avoid procrastination. So as you're working, just small steps. Make a decision on every email. If you promise to, don't even say, I'll send it now, because that's procrastination. Sorry, I'll send it now. Is that now? Because the now was the reply. So really work into doing it. And next week, I want to explore more on task management and how to use your Outlook to then delegate tasks and folders. And I've realized some people use Outlook for things that it's not really made for. So we'll look into that as well. Yeah.
Does your book touch on, I know, when I got my email cranking, it's just one big inbox.
Yes.
And just so I can't, because I lose stuff if I file it away, I just lose stuff. So I just like to have a big long list of stuff coming in. Other people work differently. They create folders and they set up rules. So anything with this in the header or from these people.
Absolutely.
So does the book talk about using folders?
Absolutely. That's going to be the next part. I use folders as well. And the book, I didn't read that chapter, and I just read it actually a couple of days ago, because my folders are on crack now. It's just constant scrolling. But there's some good tips on keeping those folders quite minimal. Janie laughing. As I said, I mean, we're worse off right now than on drugs. Come on now.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's a really great point. The way that we work right now is not particularly efficient.
It's not efficient, no. So the folders is a great idea to start with. And if you have that one client that constantly emails you incessantly, create a folder. I have rules for invoices I get, because if it's coming out of my bank anyway, I don't need the invoice. I don't need to really look at it. And when I reconcile my books, that's usually the highlight that, that's a bit different from the last time, but at least it's been put in a folder. So there's a lot of things you can do with Outlook and Gmail. There's apps. We'll talk about apps that people can use instead. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So this was just email 1.0.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's more. But if you want to hear these top tips, we'll summarize them and put them along with this interview as part of the Facebook Taking Care of Business on RTR FM, so you can go along and have a look at that. And
absolutely.
Yeah. Right. We're all going to get you organised, including ourselves. Whatever it takes.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Kat.
Thanks for having me.
A pleasure. Taking Care of Business will be back next Monday about 10:30.